Oh, my microphone was not working. Now it's working through YouTube as well. Can you hear me, Milo? It's a pleasure to have you here today while Elon Musk is fucking ourselves because he's launching his rocket at the same time. Hello, Samari Silva. Bonsoir. I don't think I can speak French, I believe. Is it French? Bonsoir. Bonsoir. Don't know how to say that. Come on, Pro Tools. Mic is okay. Yeah. Red lights. So you can see my screen, right? Yeah. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Okay. So I have a session here to this special moment called Inside the Mix. As you can see, where is my camera? My camera. I'm here. So as you can see, we have this sessions here. So I have to do some revisions before finishing the song. And the fourth revision, we kind of finish it. So let's open the Inside the Mix fun session. We can do whatever we want in here, and it won't hurt my original mix section. So, será que eu tenho palavras suficientes em inglês para falar com vocês no copo de Red Bull? Este copo está aqui há muito tempo, mas está cheirando bem. Eu não tenho nenhuma cerveja, nenhum... Opa, caralho. So I got this warning from Universal Audio. I don't have enough CPU available to host my plugins. So let's do something to... Yeah, I'll remove these plugins from my... come on. Remove, yeah. So this is the Universal Audio console, right? Mesa de som virtual, the virtual console. Okay, I believe now I can do... no. So let's try opening this session again. Say, Joel Santana, the mixing process was very good. I put the drum from behind, the bass, and the guitars, the left and the right. The vocals was very, not very hard to mix because I just put that in the middle, right? I love Joel. Joel is a winner. Yeah. We love you. Sing something, Maya. Yeah, Tim Maia from Tijuca, right? Tijuca. I love Tim Maia. Okay. I'll do something here. Pause sync. Okay, we're about to start. I'm a little confused about what language I'm going to use, but let's use all of them. Okay, so send me some questions about the mixing process before I can start, because my computer is a little bit slow here. I'll try to... come on, computer, come on, Steve Jobs, don't let me down. Send me some questions. Botafogo, from Botafogo. Yeah, Tim Maia is from Tijuca, from Botafogo, from everywhere. Tim Maia is Tim Maia. Let's open this session again. So, woo, I'm excited. Who have this Red Bull? shit glass here. I haven't planned anything to say, so... Por que o Pro Tools é o pior programa? Okay, Guilherme, Pro Tools is a very good programmer, very good software, okay? But my computer sucks. It's from 2011, and the dollar currency now is too high, so I cannot do much about it. I'll stick to this computer until I don't know when. I think it's going out, but yeah, the streaming process makes it harder to work because the OBS, it's a very tricky software as well. So let's cut to the chase. Let's do something cool here. Okay, now it's going to work. Good sotaque, obrigado. It's from Tijuca as well. Exactly, Johnny Rocks. The screen recorder is fucking my computer here. So I'll try to stop recording and just stream this shit to see if it work better. Stop recording. Okay, no longer recording, just streaming. Let's see what happens. Okay, so about the mixing session, I'll start with the drums if my computer let me do that. Come on, come on. I'll also close some Google Chrome tabs because Google Chrome sucks. Okay. I think we can try something. Oh, it's okay. So, about the track. Let's take a look over here on the drums first. So I have all these red channels here. I like giving colors to my channels to see what's going on. And I don't know why, but I like red for drums. I just like it. So I have a hat mic here. So I don't remember which microphone I used for the hi-hat. I believe it was an AKG 451. So let's take a listen into this hi-hat track. It's not much here, just a hi-hat. Let's see. Okay, let me check if you're listening to the sound. Can you listen to the sound not of my camera but from Pro Tools, let's see. Yeah, right? Okay, so I muted my mic, and you listen to Pro Tools sound. Was it working? I'll let the song play a little bit for you just to make sure it's working. Can you hear the song?
The baby in the room with the grown-up kid. I no longer need to worry. By your side, everything's alright. My insecurities disappear. But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can't feel my body. I don't trust my mind. And I thought
Okay, so now you can hear the song straight from Pro Tools. Let's have some fun. Stream. Okay. So let's take a listen into some drum tracks here. So you have the hi-hat, as you heard before. So as you can see, the hi-hat has some bleeding of other cymbals as well, and the snare drum, and that's okay, that's normal. So the overheads. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about every single details of the drums and the track and the tracks, all of tracks, because well, there's too much details there. But if you have some specific questions, talk here, and I'll start talking about cool stuff I think about the session. So we have this kick mic that is inside of the kick drum, right inside of it, and as you can see, it's not very full of sound. It has a great attack, but not the biggest bass that you would expect from a kick drum. So let's take a listen. So I keep this mic, it's an AKG mic. I keep this one for this kind of attack sound, and we used a sub kick mic, which is on a speaker in front of the kick drum, and it completes the sound, getting the much lower frequencies like this. So you have this one, and let's see now the lower frequencies. And the magic happens when you blend them together. So if you have that first mic that is inside the head and this one outside, you have this complete sound like this. Another thing that I think it's really cool to talk about the drums is that I don't have a big drum room, so I don't have a room mic that really works as a room mic. If you see my room mic here to give the ambience of the room, it doesn't have much because, well, my room is small. So let's take a listen at this mic without any effects. Okay, right, like this. So this room mic that I have is just is a Roya 121, I believe, that I use to have this unique image of the drums, but it doesn't have any ambience. It's not a room mic that you would use it in a big studio, right? Because well, it's just a shitty mic to capture the drum as a single sound. So we gotta transform it into a really cool sound, a room sound. So I'll do something. Let's see what I've done here. Okay, some EQ to cut some annoying frequencies from this mic. So I'm cutting here around 5K to get a smoother sound without some oh my computer stopped. Oh fuck. Side. Okay. So we have this EQ over here. Let's see what happens. Okay. Yeah, it's working. My computer is dying. It's a multi-band compressor, as Joe Wani said, but I'm using it as an EQ because when you use a EQ to roll off some frequencies, you are rolling them off from every moment of the track, and that's not what I want here because I just want to roll off this 5K and closer frequencies when it comes too higher. So I do not want them to be reduced every single time, just when they go up from a threshold that I define here. So it's actually working as a EQ, but only when it goes up. So after that, I'm also rolling off some frequencies that I find to be exaggerated, probably because of my room. So let's see. Okay, so as you can see, I'm rolling off something around 400 hertz, and also again in 2.85K. So another medium region that was hurting my ears over here. And as you can see, the sound of the room mic is getting much more smoother and nicer to the ears. It's not hurting anymore. So now we've reduced the annoying frequencies. We can start doing something to make it more beautiful. So first we correct the annoying frequencies, and then we do stuff to, well, exaggerate what we like. If my computer lets me. Okay, so we have this one here. It's a complete channel from a Neve console. What I'm doing here is I'm rolling off some of the low end and high end with high pass and low pass filters, and doing some compression as well, because I want to have a more constant sound from this mic, this room mic. Also giving some EQ here, no, just rolling off, yeah, rolling off a little bit of the high end, and again here at 500 Hertz, and that's it. I'm not creating any high end here. I'm probably doing this somewhere else. So let's see without and with this Neve channel. Oh, was not working. So as you can see, we started cleaning up the shitty frequencies of this channel, and now we are ready for the reverb. So we are transforming this track into a room track, a real room track. So it will sound like this. Okay, so that's what I did to create a room mic to feel like as if I had a really big room. Also some cool stuff here into the reverb. I could have done that outside the reverb, but when I bypass the reverb, you could hear some hard low end working. And that's not so good. We do not want this. We do not want that on the reverb. So here I roll off, as you can see in this frequency here. Okay, so below 2K, I'm rolling off 12 dBs of the reverb. So we won't have that in the mic rooms, because that's not what we want. I believe so. Como está o meu inglês? Estou me saindo bem? É a primeira vez. Okay, so drums are ready. Let's take a listen into the drums with and without the room mic, just to see what the fuck he's doing here. Also without the snare mic, because I have the room mic for the whole drum set, and I also have some reverb for the snare drum and sometimes for the tom and floor tom as well. I'll mute that and let's see what happens. Let's take a listen into the drum tracks only with the snare reverb, and then I'll add the room mic. You see that the snare already has some depth, some reverb to it because it has this dedicated channel for that. But when you add the room mic, the whole drum sound gets bigger. Let's take a listen. Okay, so that's the drums. We have for the people who like this kind of technical stuff, we had two mics in the snares and the snare drum, and one 8-inch tom, rack tom, 12-inch rack tom, and floor tom 14 and 16. Two mics on the kick drum, the inside mic and the outside mic, the sub kick. A hat mic. Hi-hats, usually this microphone is not usually very loud into the mix. I use them just to give more direction to where I'm putting the hi-hats. I usually put a little bit to the left. So that's what this mic is for, and also the ride cymbal mic. As you can see here, it's straight to the right because that's what worked here. Sometimes I use it a little bit less to the right like this, but these two mics are just being used to give the correct panning to these cymbals, the ride cymbal and the hi-hat cymbal. Okay, so you have some tambourine here. Some cool stuff is that we didn't play this tambourine. It's electronic tambourine. Because, yeah, we wanted to do that, just have fun. So, what do we have is that here. It's not a real tambourine, oh my god. Oh, the gods of rock and roll are going to hate us. Okay, so shitty tambourine. Come on, tambourine. The tambourine is not something that you're gonna listen very clearly into the song. It's just something to feel. If I take the tambourine off, you feel that something's missing. That's the concept here. So tinha o Campo Grande bass, o baixo do tinho. Let's add the baixo do tinho. Come on, baixo. Something I really like about the bass here is that there is a trick called, where's the window? Mixing window. Okay, here's the mixing window. I use a trick that, well, most of the mixing engineers use, that is the sidechain option. So every time the kick drum plays and the bass plays together, you have this conflict. So the volume of one will affect the perception of the other. and they'll be fighting for space into the mix. So what we do is every time the kick drum hits a note, it sends a signal to a signal. Oh, my English signal. It sends a signal to the bass. So here we have the bass. Yeah, here we have the bass. Where it is? Here. Let's solo the kick drum and the bass track. Kick drum, kick drum, kick drum, and the bass track. This. Yeah, unfortunately my computer is dying, so I can't watch this gain reduction fader working here. But what's happening is every time the kick drum plays, it sends a signal through this bus over here, this number 25, and it goes into this compressor that's working into the bass track. So every time the kick drum plays a hit, it's like if someone just wrote down the volume of the bass. So the kick drums hit and the bass goes like this, a little bit slower in the volume, but it recovers really fast. So what happened is you hear the bass drum, the kick drum, working really clear into the mix, and because the bass was rolled off a little bit in the volume, so and recovers fast enough so you won't notice something wrong with the bass. It's just go like this. Okay, kick drum plays, the bass is off. Bass is off, not off, but lower in the volume. So that's the trick to get the bass drum and the bass track working together in a nicer way. I don't know if you can see that because my computer is dying. Let's try again. Yeah, my computer is dying, so it's not showing here, but you can see an orange mark over here. That's the gain reduction maximum point. So gain reduction is the amount of the volume that you are bringing the bass down every time it hits a threshold you establish here. So okay, that's the trick for bass drum and bass. Let's start listening to some cool stuff as acoustic guitars and, well, guitars and stuff we love. Se você é rico e tem dinheiro aí sobrando porque você é rico, manda para minha conta que eu vou trocar o computador, hein? Atenção, ricos que estiverem assistindo, se você ganha em dólar, entra em contato comigo. Okay, so let's talk about the guitars. Uh, Mainly we have Milo's guitar that's a little bit to the left, so this guitar. As you can see, we have two microphones used to track this guitar. It's a ribbon mic, the Royal 121, and the Sennheiser 421. So I always use two mics to track the guitars, and then I blend them together into the mix to achieve the sound I like the most. So let's take a listen into Milo's guitar. Ah, Eduardo Sobral, eu acho que você tem aí uns dólares sobrando para me dar um computador novo. I really like this effect we use in this song because Milo plays this paused guitar ta 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 ta. It has many pauses during the song, so it gave me the opportunity to use a reverb panned to the right. So the guitar is panned to the left, and the reverb is to the right, and I really like this in this mix. Take a listen again. Yeah, this is the artistic process of mixing. The song is great, so the only thing I have to do here is not stay in the way of the song, just help it go to the public as great as it is. But sometimes we can use some tricks to make the perception of the song even better, and that's what happened here with this guitar. Something cool is that I think I created an automation, yeah, to the guitar, so it won't have this reverb working at the same volume for the whole song. Let's take a listen. If I did that, I don't remember if I did that. Maybe I've done that into the drums. I don't remember. Fuck. Yeah, I don't remember. This. Oh, maybe it's here. Milo guitar. Let's see. Milo guitar volume. My... Porra de computador do caralho. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Aqui, porra. Here it is. Porra. So, as you can see, after the first chorus, Milo's guitar gets the reverb really down. So you probably listen this to the final track. It gives the sensation that the song gets thinner. Like, let's take a listen, just the guitar. Okay, so without the reverb, you can take a listen at the original sound, right? So the guitar is really dry. We recorded without any reverb or delay or any stuff. And I see your laughs right now. So let's listen this effect of the guitar getting the reverb down into the song. One more time, just the guitar, and then the effect inside the song. Okay. Okay, so now let's listen this into the songs to see the effect that this rolling off the reverb gives to the whole track. If my computer let me work. So as you can see, what happens is when you go into the second verse, the song gets thinner, but you don't know what happened. It's just the guitar is coming, then it's a cool trick to have some difference between the chorus and the verses, and I use it all the time to roll off the reverb from the snare or from the guitar, from the vocals, and that's a trick. I really love this in this song, especially because it's really clear to my ears in the final version, so I wanted to show you guys. Ai, preciso ganhar dinheiro pra caralho, gente. Tá foda esse computador. Vamos lá, dólar, tem que baixar. Ah, desculpe pelo meu sotaque aqui. Okay, so let's go back to the guitars. Let's take a listen into my guitars with the Milo. So during the verse, you have this guitar we showed. It gets muted in the chorus. It's this gray line here. So Milo recorded a different guitar. It's like Milo turned off the reverb pedal. Yeah, but Milo do not like to turn on and turn off pedals in the show. He just like to rock. Yeah, so let's take a look at this guitar of Milo into the chorus. What he did. As you can see, the reverb during the chorus is working at the same way it was working before. So we have the expanded guitar to the left, Milo's guitar, and you have the reverb to the right. Also, again, with two mics, the same two mics we used before to track the guitars. Let's take a listen into the mics separately, just to see the sound. So first, the 421, which is a dynamic mic from Sennheiser. Yeah, okay, it's back. Yeah, so you see that these two mics have very complete different sounds. So the 421, the Sennheiser, has much more high end. I could have EQ'd the Royal mic to have this high end as well, but I blended them together to have this complete sound where the 121 has the low end frequencies, and the Sennheiser has the upper frequencies, so the results like this. as you can see, we have the option to create an EQ'd sound by EQing. So I could add the low frequencies to the Sennheiser, or I could add the higher frequencies to the Hoyer. But it's much more fun to create the EQ you want by blending the microphones, because that sound that the microphone is giving to you is the true sound of the mic. You're not trying to add something here in the post-production process with some EQ, trying to create or exaggerate something. So do you mix using group buses? Yeah, I do mix using buses, but not all the time. Here we have some buses to take a look. So this bass over here, this blue with the capital bass letters, it's a bus. So it's the bus 23, this for me. And so as you can see, these two microphones, this mic, it's not a DI track here. As you can see, the DI track of the bass is not working, it's muted. And we have this microphone, it's a condenser, and we have a dynamic, the electro voice here. So I did the same thing I did before. Here I didn't. No, I use a buzz as well. I think I have a Fey guitar somewhere. Yeah, look, the guitar, my guitar is going. No, Milo's guitar is going to 51 and 52. So where is going 51 and 52? Here. So I have this bus. Yeah, I forgot about the colors. I use green colors, these vivid colors, vivid green, as a hint for buses. So these are buses, bus for Milo guitar, for my guitar, and for the acoustic guitar. So as you can see, all the outputs from this channel are not going to the main output, like monitor left and right. It's going to some bus. Yeah, these green are buses. Something I sometimes enjoy doing and sometimes I do not is creating drum bus. You know, as you can see on this song, I did not use a drum bus, stereo drum bus. And why not? Because I believe that when you use a drum bus, you are most likely to make some mistakes into the drum sound. Because when you use a drum bus, it's almost immediate the feeling of using a compressor, a hard compressor into the drum bus, and that's when you're going to suck all the dynamic of the drums. And so sometimes I just don't use a drum bus to prevent to force myself of not doing this mistake, you know. And that's what I did here. I did not use a drum bus, but I used something really cool here, which is a this is a cool subject to talk about. There's one thing called parallel compression or New York compression, and what is this kind of compression, this type of compression, is when you squeeze the sound of something just to create like a wall of sound. It's like if you have the snare drum playing sometimes loud, sometimes lower, and you need to don't make mistakes with my drum, please. Exactly. So sometimes you have the snare drums going too loud or too soft into the song, but you do not want to do some compression into the sound and kind of hurt the transient, the snap of the sound. What do? You create parallel compression, compressing really hard the sound, so it's like, okay, the volume is going to be like this at the whole track. Bah, 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 bah. So every time you get the same volume, the same amount of volume. So it will achieve this what you want about having the volume more even during the song, but it's going to hurt your sound. It's going to hurt your transients. So what you do is you blend the original track, which has this variation of volume, with this high compressed track. So you kind of end up with this sound that is constant in volume, is even through the whole song, but you have the transient breathing from the original track. This is the original idea of New York compression, of parallel compression. But I use this track here as New York compression, as you can see, New York City letters here. But it's not New York compression. So that's just a name I'm using here for the idea of having a channel that I do some processing to add something to the track. And what I did here is to exaggerate the transient. So the snare drum sounds like this. Let's see. So snare 57 mic, and it's a dynamic, and the AKG 451. Let's see the sound of Sorry. We have the guitars working. Let me just mute them. And let's see what I did to the snare drum. So Pedrita could be more heard into the song. Pedrita. Where is okay. Drum. Okay, so here we have just the snare mics, and now let's add this New York kind of shit here. Okay, now let's take a listen just on the New York kind of sound here. So what it's doing is, let's open the plugin here, the Transient Designer. If I turn this to my right, so I add transient here, you listen the snap of the kick drum and the snare drum more exaggerated. So let's take a listen. Okay, so I exaggerated here just to show you what it does. So you have this first snap of the drums, in this case the snare drum and the kick drum. I'm use this single channel for both drums, and so I use this to have more punch to the drum sound. I really like for this song because it's not a very fast on BPM, so it gives me the space to have this snap, and this snap triggers the reverb, and you have this bigger. So I like doing this sometime. Okay, so enough of the drums. Mm, enough of the drums. So, as we were looking, we have these guitars, Milo guitars, in the verse and the chorus, but we also added the acoustic guitars to give this rhythm, the pick, right? Yeah, paleta pick. This pick sound as a percussion sound. Lots of bands like this trick, and we also do that. So let's take a listen to the acoustic guitars. Okay, Red Bull, give me a computer, Red Bull. We were listening to the snare sound because I changed it here to pre-delays, pre-fader, so let's go back there. So Red Bull. Yeah, sometimes I forget my microphone. Sorry, Giovanni. So sorry. I think our moms are very proud of us today, of ourselves today, right? Because we are here on the internet talking to the world to see in English. This is beautiful, guys. Fuck. Okay. So we saw the acoustic guitars. Let's take a listen to the song. It's beautiful.
I can feel my body. I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you were gonna. Sort of red lights, side to side.
Okay, so let's compare the chorus with and without the acoustic guitars. You see that what happens is that this pick sound of the strings, they give this percussion sense of rhythm. This is a tough word for me. Sorry. Ritmo. That helps the chorus to get bigger. Let's see.
But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can't feel my body. I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you were gonna let me down. Oh, this town is haunted by some sort of red lights, side to side. Ooh,
Right? When we mute the acoustic guitar, it's like something's missing. I don't know what is missing, but something's missing. Because it just feel the rhythm. Just, okay, the flow is now working again. It's like, I need this, right? As you can see here, my guitar is is pink, right? The channel is, I choose the pink color here. You see through all my mixing sessions that I use pink colors for effects. So I consider my guitar here as something just to fill the gaps, right? The song is happening, and you have this. Okay, I have this space here, so okay, my guitar is there. It can be a guitar, it can be a keyboard. This keyboard over here is brown just because I made a mistake. It should be pink like this. Okay, so now it's the right color because it's also an effect. Let's take a listen into my guitar tracks and into the keyboard tracks. Track, not tracks, because it's only one. So my guitar is just the little noises. In Portuguese, it's barulhinhos. You know, it's barulhinhos do Fey. It's Fey little noises. So let's see what I've done in this song.
Of atmosphere down here, I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room with the grown-up kid. I no longer need to worry.
As you can see, by the time my brother Milo is not singing, I just do some stuff to fill the gaps and to make the song more interesting, but just some details. So this is for the verse. The second verse, I believe it's more full of these little noises. Let's take a listen. Let's see with Milo's guitar. Okay, so the little noises. And during the chorus, we have this this actual guitar, which was not made by me. The melody, my brother gave me this melody to play through the chorus. I think I changed a little bit, just cutting the first note to the second note to have this first attack, not the first downbeat of the chorus. But mainly was my brother's melody, which is beautiful and played with my crazy hands. Let's see it. So let's see how it works with the song.
But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can feel my body. I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you.
So as you can see, just creating this kind of pad sound with this continuous feeling of atmosphere and space, and that's why I recorded two guitars. So as you can see, here is just one microphone. I did not use two microphones here. It's so we have GT Fey, guitar Fey, refrão 2, refrão, guitar Fey, refrão, and guitar refrão 2. So it's the same guitar playing twice, because this way how to use effects of pedals. Let's see it. So we have one guitar penned hard left. What is that? Hard left. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. Hard left, this first guitar. And you have this one out to the right, sorry for my microphone. And together. Of course, I could have played just once and use a delay to create the secondary track, but it's not fun. It's much better to play the exact same thing again, because you create these imperfections, this difference between the two tracks, and this is what helps the song to build some human feeling for it. I always prefer to record again, trying to make the exact same sound I've done before. Okay, so let's play these guitars, bass, acoustic guitars together to see how it is working, how the arrangement is working, right? So me, Milo, and Tinho Campo Grande playing together. Okay, so it's missing a guitar here, because when I stop doing this, I come back to little noise, to Barulhinhos do Fey, which is this. Yeah, cool, right? So that's the guitars and the keyboard, which is also pink. The keyboard is an accident. We were tracking. I don't remember exactly what we were tracking at the time. Was in the studio with Milo, and he had an idea for a guitar melody. He was watching me recording, and he had an idea. Why don't you do something like this? And I didn't want to lose my idea at that moment. So I told him, okay, let's record your idea as a keyboard. Just have these notes here, and we'll see what happened then. And that's in the final song. So it happens all the time. Something that you're not expecting to use. It's just something to get your ideas into the computer so you won't lose it. Sometimes it goes through the end and stays in the song. That's happened here. Let's see the keyboard. One more time. Okay, so two notes. It's actually a strange sound here. I don't know what we used. Something like a violin. It's not good. And I added this reverb here, this dedicated reverb with some phase effects as well. I love this reverb from Universal Audio. and it gives this depth to the keyboard. Let's see with and without the reverb. Again, without the reverb. As you can see, it looks like the synthesizer itself has some reverb. Not a bigger one, but has some. And we added this to the final track. See the tail? Yeah, really long. And let's see this within the track. So yeah, it's cool. It creates something that we actually were not expecting. I remember when I bounced the song, even before mixing it, and my brother told me, "What the fuck was that keyboard? That was cool." I don't remember when we did that. Yeah, we just did that in a hurry, and that's here. Let's see it. Again, let's go from here.
I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you were gonna let me down. Oh, this town is haunted by some sort of red lights.
This is so cool. Pedrita didn't know we had a keyboard in the song. Yeah, we have a keyboard. So we have Tino Campogrande, we have Pedrita Aruama, Milo, Fey, and a strange keyboard here. Okay, so let's do some vocals, right? Yeah. I need to go to the bathroom, you know, right? Yeah, what's coming? The moment was coming. So I'll leave Milo singing by himself here for you. So it will give you a great perspective of the effects we used on the vocals. So let's play just vocals and backing vocals for you while I go to the bathroom. Solo, 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 solo. Lots of vocals here. Opa, one more. Solo, solo. So as you can see, this moving is a vocal, but is used as an effect. It's moving side to side, moving. It's an effect, just that. So that's why it's pink here. Helps my mind to keep track of what the fuck we're doing. So let's take a listen to the vocals, and I'll be right back. Just a moment. Bye-bye.
My body. I know love. I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room with a grown-up kid. I no longer need to worry. By your side, everything's alright. My insecurities disappear. But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can't feel my body. I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you were gonna let me down. Oh, this town is haunted by some sort of red lights. side to side. Oh, side to side. So let's not break up, all we need is an unusual coffee break. Go ahead, let's try to get to know another kind of taste. And don't bother telling me it's not safe. By your side everything is alright, my insecurities fade away. But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can feel my body, I don't trust my mind. And I thought that you were gonna let me down. Oh, this town is haunted by some sort of red lights. Side to side. Oh, side to side.
Pedrito Raroama, you gave this idea, right?
But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can feel my body, I don't trust my mind. And I thought that you were gonna let me down. Oh, this town is haunted by some sort of red lights. Is going down.
So you had the chance to listen. You had the chance to listen this final sentence of Milo that we do not know what that is. I think he didn't know as well. So you had the chance. Sorry, I should have stopped before because that was a secret from the song. So now you know it. Okay, so you listen to the vocals. You could see that the effects are very cool. They give this depth, this sensation of space, and well, it's just cool. So let's see how we created that, right? That's the cool stuff. Johnny Rocks, he asked me about the buses, right? And I used bus on the vocals as well, especially for backing vocals. So the lead vocal over here, this first track, VX1, is voice, vocals, vox. Tipo, that's my nickname for vocals. Vocal 1 again, vocal 1 again, vocal 2 again, vocal 3, and that's how we done. So let's see the vocal 1, what we are doing here. We have this expander just to control some of the breathing, so the air of the vocalist. And as we did before with the room mic, we start by correcting some frequencies that may be exaggerated into the original track. So let's see it. Let me just bypass this. Okay, bypass. Oh, I didn't know I knew this shortcut. So just with the expander, not important right now. Let's see. Just a moment. Let me. Okay. Vocal here.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room.
Okay, so I can listen a low end that I think we need to roll off a little bit. So it's right here around 164. And we also use a high pass filter, as you can see here, because, well, I do not need any frequencies below 64 hertz for the vocalist. It's not his area. It's the bass area, the bass drum area. So we are rolling off all the bass frequencies here, and we are taking off some of this low mid here. Let's take a listen with and without the EQ.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room with a grown-up kid. I no longer need to worry. By your side, everything's alright. My insecurities disappear. But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can't feel my body.
Okay, so as you can see, by removing some frequencies, we can actually achieve the same effect we could by adding other frequencies. So we could make the vocal sound more brighter by giving high frequencies, right? Frequencies. That's one way to go. But what we're doing here is rolling off some low mid to achieve that. So we are cleaning the vocal before we try to process it, before we add delay, before we add compression, before we exaggerate some frequencies that we think are really cool for the vocal. And what I like to do is I only exaggerate the frequencies I need to make something to cut the mix. So you have everybody playing together, and you cannot listen this guitar very well, or this vocalist is getting behind the band. So you choose a frequency that you think it's going to work, and what I do is I exaggerate it for this particular instrument, could be a vocal or a guitar, and I roll the same frequency of the other instruments. So imagine if it would be a vocal, I could be giving more like 1K or 2K for the vocalist. I would also roll off 1K or 2K into the guitars, into every instrument that is working in that area. So it's this effect that I could do. But before anything like that, I'm just correcting the track. And here we have a de-esser. In Brazil, we exaggerated the S's, right? Like portas. This sound of the S's in Portuguese are much more powerful, but we also have that in English. So wherever the singer, whenever the singer is giving more S's than we wanted, or the microphone is getting more S's that we need, the singer can be singing well, but the microphone has this characteristic to give this frequency much more than we need into the mix. So we have this de-esser just to roll off this specific frequency from the S's. So I'm using here, so that's, I don't know, a part of the song that I could show you, but this is for this particular issue. So
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down.
Yeah, you can see like the atmosphere down here. When he sings the atmosphere word, this gain reduction shows us in karaoke. Yeah, not only in Brazilian Portuguese, but in karaoke Portuguese. As you can see on the atmosphere word, the S is really the atmosphere down. So the de-esser comes in and roll off the frequency as much as we want. So let's see the gain reduction right here.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room with the...
Let's see without the de-esser. Sometimes it's very small, the difference, but sometimes you can really hear into the mix. But I also use a de-esser. Let's see.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down.
Yeah, see, atmosphere, that almost like assobiando. I don't know that word in English. You know, I don't know how to do that as well, so I'm lost here. But without, again, let's see.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here.
So as you can see, we are trying to repair and fix something before we process the sound. So that's it. We've done that with the de-esser, with the EQ, with the expander. Now we are going to compress the sound of the vocals. And what is compression? In a very short description, would be like I want the vocal to have the same volume or almost the same volume through the whole sound, through the whole song. So if the singer goes off the microphone, then goes near the microphone, or sometimes singer louder than the other part, that's normal. That's normal with every instrument. But with singing, with the vocalist, it's a more important issue. It's a more important issue. So we use a compressor to even the sound. So.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as safe as...
So what it's doing is every time the sound is going above a defined threshold, it compresses. And then we get the sound that's below this threshold and you give some gain. So by the end you have this compressed sound and it's more even through the whole song. So that's the compressor. And now my trick that sometimes I'm not very proud of, because it's like a shortcut to achieving my results. But that's okay. I could get the same results with EQ and delay from other plugins, but I do like this very much, this Krillod Audio plugin. This especially this top EQ on the treble region, and this delay, this delay I just love. So let's see what it does here. I'll roll off the effects so you can compare the EQ and the delay. Let's see.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room with a grown-up kid. I no longer need to worry.
So as you can see, this treble, this top treble, you have this 3 different trebles here. Let's switch between them just to give a look.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room with a grown-up kid.
Yeah, this just wow, it's a treble here, and there. The most high frequencies, then a middle one, and the first one. So I'm choosing this top. I don't know actually where it's working, in which frequency it's working, and well, I actually don't care because I'm using this. Of course, I do this choosing process by listening the whole song, not the soloed channel, because that's not any good. But let's see the delay here, this 80 delay.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here.
Without.
I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room with a grown-up kid. I no longer need to worry.
So it's doing exactly what I need for the track. One more time, I could use a dedicated delay that I can control the settings and the milliseconds and the repetitions, the feedback, and etc. But that's not what I needed. I do that sometimes, but I just used the squeeze log shortcut because it fitted to the track really well, and you can see these red lines here in these two buttons because what it means is I have some automation to this because okay, I give some effects, some EQ, but we can change the amount of the effects of the EQ through the song, so you can create different feelings during the song, and that's what we did here. So as you can see on the delay automation for the vocal track, the lead vocal track, we have more delay when we go into the chorus, right? So this horizontal line here is below this, right? So which means that through the verse we have the delay into this volume, and in the chorus we have the delay in a higher volume, and I use that all the time. So the chorus have more delay, more reverb sometimes, or a different kind of EQ, and you create different sensations from the listener, and that's the goal here. Okay, I think that's it for the main vocals. Oh no, I actually yeah, sometimes I do that as well. When you process before the compression and the EQ, you are doing the correction, right? So we are fixing problems. But sometimes when you fix problems and then you compress again and you EQ, you can exaggerate that problems one more time. You can bring a little bit of that problems back, or problems in a different region, different area. So sometimes you have to de-ess again, or to compress again, or to EQ again, whatever. And that's what I did here. I added a de-esser after the compression, after the EQ, and after the delay again. So
my body, I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you. Ooh.
And as you can see, the gain reduction here is smaller than in the previous de-esser. I'm just cutting like 1.5 or 3 dBs of de-essers here, so the threshold is much higher on this de-esser. And to finish, we have the reverb. So again, that reverb we use on the keyboards. And I just used a preset that I really like. This is called Some Depth. And let's see what it does here. Let's see, with and without the reverb.
My body, I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you were gonna let me down. Oh, this town is haunted by.
Let's see through the verse. I like it more.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as safe as a baby in the room with a grown-up kid. I no longer need to worry. By your side, everything's alright. My insecurities disappear.
Yeah, so the reverb gives this feeling of getting the vocalist back a little bit, right? If you bypass the reverb, you have the voice right in front of your face, like it's singing right here. And when you give some reverb, of course, you put the sound far behind, and that's the idea here. Okay, so that's the lead vocals. The lead vocals, and we also have. Do you melodyne the voice? Yeah, of course. Not. I do not melodyne. For who does not know what melodyne or autotune is to correct the tuning of the vocalist. What I believe it's the correct path here. The right way to go is when I'm in a musician position, when I'm singing, or when I'm watching my brother singing. We are always trying to sing as best as we can. It's like, okay, let's try to get the best take we can today, but keeping the artistic feeling, keeping the will of being singing at that moment. Because when you try to sing a dozen of times, you get tired and you do not want to sing that song anymore, and then you are going to start singing without emotion. That's not cool. So the correct time to stop is, okay, I don't want to sing anymore, so fuck it. Let's see if we've got the take, and if we did not get the take in a in a word or another, we check that into the melodyne or autotuning correct, because I think that's the correct way to go. So in this specific song, I believe we did some melodyne just in the ending. I think one or two words, but when I open the melodyne, I check the whole song from the lead vocal, for the lead vocal and for the double, so for the harmonies. So if we have the lead vocals singing a note and you have the harmony in the wrong note, the wrong third or fifth, it's going to be awful. So I check that, but mainly in the beginning of the sentence and in the end of the sentence, because I believe that if you start singing the correct note and you messed up in the middle just a little bit, of course, if you messed up a lot, you have to fix that or sing again. But if you messed up just a little bit and then in the end you finish correctly, almost nobody will detect that, will hear that, oh, he's out of tune in that word. Fuck off, it's okay. But if you finish the sentence in a wrong note and sustaining the note like ah, and that's the wrong note, well, it's going to hurt everybody's ears. So that's my way to go here. And in this song, I believe we have this mellow track here. Yeah, melodyne, right? It's where I checked the song and probably correct one or another word, mainly in the beginning or in the ending. And that's what I do for my vocals. That's what I do for my brother's vocals. That's what I do for Adele vocals if she comes here and records in the studio. Because when I'm in this position as a producer, not as a musician, as a producer, the responsibility is much higher, because it doesn't matter if the vocalist is perfect or not. If there is something out of tune, it's not okay, because sometimes out of tune is an artistical effect, sometimes not. If it's not artistic effect and it's hurting the ears, you cannot deliver that to the world. Nobody will hear that and say, oh, but that's no, man. If it's out of tune, it's out of tune. You have to correct that. That's it. But for the backing vocals, I try to leave them as original as I can. So if I have this vocal here, let's take a look at a part when we do have two vocals singing the same stuff. Okay, in the chorus we have that. So we have this track here, which is soloed, which is the lead vocal, and we have these two tracks. Let's listen just these two first. They sing the same stuff.
But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can't feel my But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can't feel.
So what I try to do when I'm recording, and anyone who's recording, is okay. Focus really hard on this vocal because this is the lead vocal. So sing as best as you can. We are going to try lots and lots of times, and bah, you record it. And then we record extra vocals, backing vocals, just to support the vocal. And if they have a slight difference of tune, that's cool because it's like a chorus effect. That's like my mic was closed. Sorry. So I don't know why you lost, but let's continue. So what I do here is when you have a lead vocal and you have some extra vocals singing the same stuff as the lead vocal has to be perfect. Okay, so you are going to focus yourself, try really hard to sing as best as you can. And if we need, we are going to fix some stuff. Okay, but on the backing vocals, we are not doing anything unless it's really wrong. And that's not the case here because Milo is a great singer. So the backing vocals are exactly as we recorded them. And this creates a magical effect that is a slight difference of tuning between the vocal in the right, the lead vocal in the middle, and the left. I remember Joel Santana. The left vocal, the left. This vocal on the left and the vocal from behind. So you have these three vocals singing together. The lead vocal is really well tuned and compressed and stuff, and you have these vocals happening here with some slight difference, and this create a creative effect that's flanging choruses or phasing. It's the tune is not exactly the same, and it's good. Let's listen just these three vocals. Let's listen just the lead vocal, and I'll add the extra vocals.
But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can't feel my body. I don't trust my mind. And I thought that you were gonna let me down. Oh, this town is haunted by some sort of red lights, side to side.
Yeah, as you can see, it creates a beautiful effect to the track. And I see Johnny Rocks is asking me if the lead is mono. Yeah, the lead vocal is almost all the time is mono, but the reverb and the delay are stereo, so it's not mono, it's stereo, right? I'm not panning. If I have two different tracks here I only have one, right? But if I had a mono track with the lead vocals, I would keep it mono and send it to a bus that is stereo, and there I would give some reverb, some delay. So the result is that, well, it's actually stereo, not mono. But the backing vocals are hard panned to the left or to the right, from the behind, from the middle, and that's it. And you have this. Does anybody know how to say falsette in English? Falsette. It's this voice like side to side, but it's feeling booty. We have this beautiful falsettes from Milo here through some parts of the song like this.
No longer need to worry.
As you can see, for these backing vocals, I panned them in the middle because in the first mix version, I tried to open the backing vocals and didn't work. The band heard that and said, "Oh, that's not work. It's strange." For the verse. I think for the chorus I open them. Let's see. Yeah. So here we can see another difference between choruses and verses. So we try to move things throughout the song, so we create this different feeling for the listener, right? Falsettinho, exactly, it's falsettinho. So in the verse we have in the middle the falsettinhos.
No longer need
Not hard middle, right middle.
to worry.
It's not exactly in the middle, right? But it's almost there.
No longer need to worry.
And then you go to the chorus and the falsettinhos are opened up.
Into the sky. I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you. Ooh. Lights side to side.
Some cool stuff here. As you can see, this moving track here, moving. They sound a little bit harsh, a little bit brighter. Too much high end here, right? It looks like it would be something not good, but that's what worked through for the track. So solo it. It's a little bit more higher would be like, okay, no, not moving, but in the track it works. Let's see.
By some sort of red lights, side to side.
Yeah, Mike, it's back. So the movement is working, and one thing I really wanna talk about is that sometimes when you are listening to the stuff solo it, you can listen something that may be a wrong thing, like, oh, something missing there. Let's see. I think I heard something like this here.
Oh, this town is haunted by some sort of red lights, side to side.
So, as you can see in this lead vocal track, right here, I have something quite strange happening. It looks like I did some editing poorly, and the vocal is like side to side. You have this feeling of strangeness, right?
Lights, side to side.
It's like I coded something here, but well, the thing is, nobody's going to listen to that, man. So when you're mixing, when you're editing, sometimes you have these little trashes, these little mistakes in the tracks, and that's okay. You cannot have something that it's really fucking song, but this kind of shit happens all the time. And guess what? In the records you love from the 60s, from the 50s, from the 70s, well, man, it's filled with this kind of shit, with bleeding from one mic to the other, to another mic, and that's it, man. That's music. It's gotta work together. So we are soloing tracks here just to show you the process, show you all the tracks of the song. We are getting into the final ones here. But when I'm mixing, I do not solo them at all, almost never. I solo the tracks a lot when I'm editing. So if I'm editing a drum fill, or if I'm editing, well, whatever, a noisy part that I need to cut because it's in a quiet moment of the song. Okay, so I solo. But During the mix, do not solo the tracks as much as you can. Always EQ them, listening to the other tracks together, unless you are correcting some problems. When I'm correcting some problems, sometimes I solo so I can listen the problem, the frequency that's hurting my ears, so I have to solo. But when you're creating EQ as an artistical step of the song, you have to listen all the stuff together. So, as I told you, let's listen this part, and you won't listen the strangeness thing in the vocal.
By some sort of red lights, side to side.
There you go. Nothing strange here with side to side. All good. Well, right here we have this backing vocals to support the song, and sometimes I add some effect as a megaphone, a telephone, or stuff like that. I think we use this probably here. No, not here. So where did I use it? Refrão. Here. I think I used it here. Let's see. So this is another plugin I really love from Chris Lodge library of plugins. Let's see, it's here. See the effects. So you have this telephone effect that is bypassed through the whole song, but in this specific part, maybe in other parts I don't remember, it comes up. So it's bypassed, it's going to unbypass to work, and then bypass again. Let's take a listen. So the same track of the whole song for backing vocals, but in this part specifically we add this effect just to give a little extra. Well, mixing is like painting. Where is the window? I lost my window. As you can see, I'm not. Yeah, I do not know all the shortcuts in the keyboard. So we add this just to give a little something to this part, like, oh, I haven't heard this effect before in the song. So let's listen again. It's in this track here of the penned vocals that we talked before. So this one, this blue and this pink one. Let's listen then solo it.
Oh, this sound is haunted by some sort of red light. We're side to side.
So the same tracks, let's add the effect.
Oh, side to side.
Okay, so we saw all the instruments that are working throughout the song. I think we added some. Yeah, we have a trumpet here, a fake one, of course. I believe Pedrita also didn't know we have this in the song. Let's solo this. I like when I leave these things that the artist doesn't know. I do that for bands that are not my bands as well. So people who comes here to record and then I add something that's there, you know, that's helping the song in a way they doesn't know, they just feel it, and that's what happened here. Let's see the trumpet. I actually don't know what's coming next. One more time for you, Pedrita.
But it seems I'm
Now that I told you we have this trumpet, you can really hear it, right? Especially in the end of the solo part. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da. You can hear that, right? Let's play the solo again from the beginning of the trumpet part, and now you can hear that. I know you can. Let's zoom in just a bit. Ah, muito bom, Pedrito. So you have this mid notes here controlling the Pro Tools synthesizer, and that's it. That's Mama's trumpet. Let's hear it. First solo, and then I'll give the song back.
But it seems I'm
Yeah, so it's it's before the last chorus, and the final note of the trumpet, the final hit, final attack is really loud. We can hear that clearly, right? Let's hear.
But it seems I'm falling into the sky.
So sorry, it's doing the same thing that Milo's guitar. So that's why it's not so obvious. It's not so clear in the song. It's not in your face because the guitar is doing the same thing. So let's hear the trumpet, the secret trumpet with Milo's guitars. Let's take a listen. Milo's guitars and the bass, because let's solo the bass. It's the one moment we can hear the bass very clearly. Cool. Yeah, I can hear some problem here. The right speaker. Some fade did not work. It's in the song probably. No. Ah, where is it? I don't know. I think it's here. Yeah, let's see if it's the vocal. No, it's not the vocal. Yeah, fuck. I don't know where it is, but that's it. So that's why Pedrita didn't know about this trumpet, because it's working with the guitar, with the song. It's just helping the riff to get more punch and more angriness, and that's it. So I think that's it. I did not prepare anything for you today. I just went through the song and showed the tricks and what we've done to achieve the results you saw. I believe something really cool to do here is to show you the version of the song. Do you use a VST native or Pro Tools? I use Pro Tools, I think 11. Ah, for the trumpet. Yeah, for the trumpet. Yeah. The Expand Pro Tools. Yeah, The shittiest plugin I could open here is the one who is in the song, in the Billboard ranking right now, you know. That's it, man. That's life. So I think one thing to do here is really cool. I'll do that for you. I think it's cool. Let me close it. Don't save. I do not want to save anything I've done. So I'm going to, as a ending process, which is really cool. I'm going to open the unmixed version, so the recording version, which is what we actually recorded without any processing, without any plugins, without any tricks, without anything. Then I'll open the mixed version below of that and the mastered version, and you can see the difference between what is a song that you haven't mixed. What is the result of mixing a song? Let's see that. It's a cool way to finish it. Wow, I need to go to the bathroom again. Tim Maia. Queria hoje ir para Marlene com meus amigos para poder cantar no karaoke masters. So we have some spoilers here, right? This second album folder, Disco 2. We have this upcoming songs for you guys. Yeah. So the red lights, I have a masters red light replace. It's not here, sorry. It's in the first album folder. I used this to master testing. Yeah, so when I mastered the song, I did not master, I sent it to master red light. I sent the song to United States, a studio, a mastering studio over there that I really like. And when they sent me back the mastered version, I did some analysis, some comparisons here. So let's see that session. Woo! Next time I think I'm going to live stream direct from the bathroom. It's much safer for me. Okay, so we have this session here that is, as you saw before, let me close these plugins. As you saw before, what is mixing is getting tons of tracks. So we recorded 11, 12, I think 13 tracks for the drums itself, 3 or 4 tracks for the bass, guitars, acoustic guitars, tambourine, trompetes, so lots of stuff, and you have to mix them into 2 tracks, which is left and right. It's what you hear into the red phones, for example. So we have this. Let's make it inactive here. So when I mix a song, what I produce is this blue one up here, which is a stereo version of all those tracks. So okay, so I bypass the plugin here. We have this revision. Let me import just a bounced track before any mixing. So let's see where it is. So first track will be recording. So first track is recording. I need to import the recorded version. Sorry, not bounce. Import audio. Pro Tools has a bug in this version. I have to import direct to this clip list over here. Let me just get the bounced version. I don't know if I still have the bounced version here. Let's see. I probably have it. So Brazilian Democracy. No, that's the first record. Disco 2 and the red lights. Bounced files. Wow, this is some cool stuff. It's the bounce voice sem efeito sem Frank. Voice com efeito sem Frank. Whoa, February. Okay, so this bounce over here is what we sent to Rodrigo Celos, who edited the clip, the music video. So we call that a bounce. I just bounced the song into a stereo track, so he could listen to the track and edit the music video. So let's take a listen to that. It will be fun. It will be fun. Yeah. Okay, so the first track is without any mixing. Let's see it. Sorry, I had to go really quick to the bathroom. Oh, come on, song not, it's not. Pro Tools is not answering to me. Come on, Pro Tools. Come on, Pro Tools. Okay. Crap. Yeah, let's close Pro Tools and open again. It's time to ask for money. It's time to ask for money. If you are rich, if you have some money, please send it to me. I need to buy a new computer. My computer is not it's not working. Sorry, o caralho. Não foi, porra. Caralho, porra. O que tá acontecendo? Ah, o Pro Tools tá doido, gente. Sorry, o Pro Tools tá doido. Eu não tô conseguindo. Porra, vai. Let's close it at all. Shit. Pro Tools. I can see if there's of how many people is watching right now, but it's fun. It's fun for me. I like your comments. Thank you very much. I'm improving my English, you know. I'm improving like my mommy would like. Master red lights. Okay, let's try again, baby. Come on. Please, Pro Tools, please. Oh, now it's going to work. Yes. Okay, so recording, let's see that. Okay, so first we are going to listen the recording, this track over here, the top track, okay, the blue one. That's the recording version without, I wouldn't say without any processing, because before any bouncing, any exporting version, I do something to, well, to create more space. So I see that there is some reverb here. There is already the delay on the vocals, because every time my brother or any vocalist come to here to record, when they are recording, now it's something more of the recording process, I add delay and reverb, so effects for them just to listen, so that those effects are not being recorded. It's just for the vocalist fit into the sound, into the track, and feel more comfortable by when he's singing. So if I play back the vocals they just recorded without any effects, they're going to, whoa, what the fuck is that? So we won't have any version of the song without any effects, unless I open the song and, as I did before, I cut off the effects. But we have this bounced version which is not full process the song. So let's switch between the recording version, the blue one, the mixed version, the red one, and the master version, which is the purple one. And you see very clearly the difference between the versions. See, there's no reverb here. I'm sorry, this plugins over here is because I was studying mastering, so I added this. The mixed version do not have that pressure.
Atmosphere.
So the recording.
Friend. Friend kind of.
Sorry, something's wrong. There's no sound. Okay, I'm fixing that right now. Sorry. Let's see what happened. Ah! Crap. What happened? Ah, buzz. 1, 2. Será que isso aqui resolve? Pá.
Friend cat.
No, the fuck.
Friend kind of atmosphere. Things are right, my insecurities.
Yeah, I don't know what happened here. OBS fucked us. That's sad. I did not like that. What happened? Yeah, the mic is working, but the routing inside the console is not working. But it's coming the sound. What the fuck?
My mind, and I thought that you.
Okay, I have one guess. Let's see if that's what's happening. Fuck. Who knows there's a live? What the fuck happened here? Okay, let's try again. Fuck! Yeah, I believe OBS is now crazy. So sorry, it would be really fun to do that. Ah, crap. Crappy. Okay, I'll try something here. It's called Gambiarra. Just a moment. Oh, it's working. Fuck. Just a moment, I think the gambiarra vai funcionar. E aí vai ser legal. It will be very nice to show you the difference between unmixed and unmastered and blah 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 version. Let's see.
Of atmosphere down here.
Yeah, baby, yeah. I don't know how it was working before because I think the channel here was not the correct one. I don't know what you were listening. I'll check the live stream on YouTube later to see if I screwed up everything. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Yeah, hopefully not. Okay, so recording, mixed and master version. Okay, let's see it.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm be in the room with the grown-up kid. I no longer need.
So let me put them exactly the same place here, because so I can solo one and the other, and we listen exactly the same thing. But you probably listened already the difference between a mixed song and an unmixed song. Let's see it here. Okay, so now they are starting together. Unmixed song and then mixed song.
I'm breathing a different kind of atmosphere down here. I'm feeling as a baby in the room with the grown-up kid. I no longer need to worry. By your side, everything's alright. My insecurities disappear. But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can't feel my body. I don't trust my mind. And I thought that you were gonna let me down. Oh, this town is haunted by some sort of red lights. Side to side. Oh, side to side. So let's not break up. All we need is an unusual coffee break. Go ahead, let's try to get to.
In this second verse, we can listen the difference between the mixing much more intense than in the rest of the song. Because well, in the rest of the song you can listen as well as we, of course, we can listen very well, but it's just some technical stuff that we do to compress stuff, to get everything working really punchy all the time. And but in the second verse is where the mixing was more artistical, more okay. Let's change things here, right? So let's go to the second verse.
So last night break up all we need is a new cup coffee break. And let's try to get to know another kind of thing. And somebody telling me it's not safe. And by your side everything is alright, my insecurities fade away. But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can feel my body, I don't trust my mind. And I thought that you were gonna let me down. This town is haunted by some sort of red lights. Sad to say.
Yeah, sorry for the clipping microphone. I forgot to mute it here. Yeah, as you can see, the recording and the mixing are totally different songs because the mixed version has this depth, this punch that the recording doesn't have. And below that we have the master version, and visually you can see already what's happening here, right? When I mix the song, I have this attacks, these sparks here. They go really loud, right? This is a snare drum probably. Let's take a listen. So you have the snare drum going in the sky. And for this song in particular, we have a really big snare sound because I used that Transient Designer that I showed for you. So we have this attack really high, and that's what I wanted for the song. But the master version, you compress the whole thing, so you have this what we talked about for the vocals happens now for the entire song. So for the left and right channels. So as you can see here in this green one, we have this loud parts of the snare drum over here, right? And if you look in the purple one, you have you cannot see that anymore because we are compressing the whole track, the whole stereo track, to get a more even sound through the whole song. So what we've done before with the vocals, what we've done before maybe with acoustic guitars, with well, the bass guitar, I do compression in the mixing process as well. The mastering engineer does for the stereo result of my mix. So now talking about bus mix, because maybe someone in the future or you right now like about this stuff. Some mix engineers like to have a bus compressor and a bus EQ. What it means that in the final chain of your mixing session, you have a compressor to even the sound, the sound volume, and you have an EQ to give more treble, take off some bass, etc., etc. I do not like to have any bus compression in my mix because I'm not focusing on this part of the process. I'm not focusing on having the song even for the entire time. I'm focusing have a great mix and have dynamics. So as you can see, my mix have bigger dynamics, right? You have this really loud parts of the snare drum, which is Pedrita fucking hitting the snare really loud, and I did not use lots of compression on this. So yeah, you hear the snare drum really loud sometimes. So let's take a listen in the mix of this part.
But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can feel my body. I don't trust my.
As you can see, the left hand of Pedrita is hitting the snare really loud. The Transient Designer is working there as well, and you have these sparks here. So when it goes to the master, as it compresses the whole thing, what happens is the difference between the loudest part and the quieter part of the song gets smaller. So you have this effect of compressing the waveform here, and it sounds like this, as if the whole song have more volume. Let's see the mix and the master now.
But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can feel my body. I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you were gonna let me down.
Sorry, I didn't mute my microphone. Let's see it again. During the whole song you have this effect, right? The volume of this one is going to be much lower than this one because it's the master version. This is the mixed version. Let's see.
By your side, everything is alright. My insecurities fade away. But it seems I'm falling into the sky. I can feel my body. I don't trust my mind, and I thought that you were gonna let me down. This town is haunted by some sort of lights.
Okay, so as you can see, we listen to the difference between a recorded version. A mixed version is where the effects and all the good stuff is happening, and this is the mastered version where the master engineer just gives a final touch to the song, compressing it, EQing, and that's the process. I did not master because I think it's important to have a different engineer to do this final step, because my ears are already too into the song. And although we are focused our discussion here into compression stuff, it's also part of the mastering process to do some EQ, some correcting EQs. Because see, my room is small. My speakers may not reveal some details in the mid range, for example, or in the low end of the song. So if I give the stereo mix to a different engineer, the master engineer, he's going to take it to this room with different speakers, different speakers, also a different room, and he'll listen stuff that I did not listen, and also because his ears is much more focused on mastering, so he knows what to look for when he's mastering. He knows that this is the common mistakes some small room may do in a mixing process, may bring to a mixing process and stuff like that. So it's really important that you do not master your own stuff. It's really important, but that does not mean that you don't need to check what the master engineer did. And that's what I did in this session. That's because that's the reason of the existence of this session. So you have the master red light session over here, right? So what I did, I use the mix to compare with the first master that he sent to me. So the first master he sent to me was this green one. And as you can see, if you compare, let's move it up here. Okay, so it's the first master, green one. So if you compare the green one, which is the final, this revision, sorry, the green, now it's red, it's changing this color. So this one is the first one, is the second one. Visually, you can see already that this one is much more compressed than this one. Take a look in this final chorus here, and you see that the sausage effect, right? This, when you compress the waveform, is a little bit more noticeable here. Here you can see some sparks in the sound. You can see much more sparks here, like that snare sound we saw before. See, we have much more dynamic here than we have here. So what happened is, the first version of the master that I received was too compressed. And compression, too much compression, means that your song loses punch, loses that good stuff that we like about live music, that is dynamics. Is the difference between the quiet parts and the louder parts. And you can see visually as well. Take a look at the mix waveform here. We have a snare sound here. So the snare sound, it goes up, really up, and then okay, it has the tail here. And when you see the first mix, this purple one, you see that this initial hit, this transient here, is almost at the same level of the rest of the sound, which means that the compression was so hard here that you lost that first transient, that first snap of the sound. And that's what I was trying to see here when I opened the first version and I looked into this. I think I sensed that before I looked at that. So I heard the song in my house, in my home, with my shitty headphones, and I was feeling like, oh, where is that dynamics of the snare that Pedrita played? I know that we had that in the mix. I put much effort to keep that dynamic into the snare sound. Something happened, and I came to the studio and I saw this. So as you can see, comparing the green one and the purple one, to achieve this figure, you have to erase this spark here, you know, where my mouse is. It's as if you cut this to achieve this. The main goal is to have a much more even volume through the whole sound. Okay, but what happens is that sometimes the snare drum, the kick drum, something that is really pumping in the mix gets lost. So I try to correct that by adding to this purple version a mix version only with the snare drum. So I exported just the snare drum to blend with this first mixed version, and I produced, by doing this, I produced this version of the song, which is a blend of the master version 1 and the snare drum, and it gave me back the original transients. This is not a good example, this part here, because that's not correct one. Yeah, see, my eyes are good. This one is the blend, this green one. So if you compare the blended version, this one, with the first master, you see that you do not have that where was that part we were looking at? That was good one. Here's good one. Okay, so here you can see that in the first master you have that two sparks almost in the same volume, and here you have a much more higher peak, and that's something that I did for evaluation. That's not what we sent to Spotify, YouTube, and stuff, because, well, it's much better to talk to the mastering engineer and have a revision, and that's what he did here. So the final version, the chosen one, which is written here, the escolhida, is this green one where he rolled off a little bit of the compressor, and we have a less squeezed version. So this is the final one. If we take a look in lots of snare hits, we can see that they are different. So yeah, here you see that in the purple version you have a squeezed snare peak right to here, and in this one you have some more dynamic. The downside of that is that you see that the regular part of the song in the middle of two snare hits, for example, you have less volume in the chosen one, which is this one, than in the first master. But that's okay. The records we love have much more dynamic range than this, much more. This one could be considered a highly compressed version. So if we were mastering for vinyl, for example, we couldn't have this because, well, the needle would not be able to process this kind of compression and stuff. Well, the system is different. So when you master for vinyl, for example, you have much less dynamic range, much more dynamic range, and less compression, and the master version would be visually much more like a mixed version, like this one, where you see the sparks almost through the whole song. So that's it. This is the final version. As you can see, we talked today about mixing, about recording a little bit, about editing a little bit, about mastering a little bit, and you can get a sense of how tough, how hard it is to make a record, to produce a song from scratch. I'm blessed to have great musicians and friends working with me right now. So my brother, Tinho, Pedrita, all good friends, and it makes easier to achieve good results. And for me, particularly myself, for what is hard, and I have to keep trying to get better at this, is to change the hats I'm using on each part of the process. So sometimes I'm the musician, so I'm playing guitar, and sometimes I'm producing, I'm coaching a recording session, I'm also a recording engineer, so I have to record the session, and the other time I'm the mixing engineer. So it's hard to change these different hats and keep the good flow, because, well, we are human, and the reason why bigger productions has lots of people involved is because it's hard to have so many tasks into one person. But for me, I like, because they are my friends, so it's easier. And that's it. I hope you liked. It got much longer than I expected. If you are rich, please send me money so I can buy a new computer. Just kidding. I hope we make money soon with our records. And that's it. Take care. Stay home. Be ready for some new cool songs in the near future. And obrigado Brazil, obrigado Tijuca, obrigado Tim Maia, obrigado Medina. That's it. Estou encerrando a transmissão.